Welcome into Food FAQ. I'm Mariela.
And I'm Eric.
And today, Keeter, I feel very retro.
I feel retro too. We are doing, these are not your mama's side dishes.
It's not Cho Mama.
It's not your mama's side dishes. These are like old side dishes brought back to life.
Did your mom make any of these things?
No.
Mine either.
I saw it on TV and stuff like that.
Me too.
But no, side dishes growing up in my home was like white rice or yellow rice, black beans or plantains, and avocado with onions. That's about
true.
it.
For tomatoes.
Tomatoes. That's the side dishes.
Simple. We should do a whole Cuban series. Why haven't we done that? Absolutely coming. Okay. Yes. Anyway, sorry.
we can do a Cuban thing during summer.
We should.
It'll be nice.
Perfect for the summer. Mojitos and all the jazz. Okay, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna cut all of this.
We're gonna wait. I gotta tell you something else.
Yeah, tell me.
I gotta tell you something. We're not gonna agree on what I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
I don't like mojitos.
Okay, you don't have to like them. That's okay. I think that for a mixed cocktail, they're okay. I don't really like them any mixed cocktail because they're too sweet. Honestly,
I don't find it too sweet. The thing is, I like bubbly water, and I like rum. I like mint, but I don't like it all under one house.
You're a purist for this too, Eric.
I am a purist. Right. So,
mentirita. Exactly. Oh, it's called a mentirita. You know this, right?
No, I did not actually.
Oh, okay. Mentirita is like a little lie. And that's why they say Cuba Libre, because, free.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No. I honest to God, did not know that.
You can call it a mentirita.
Mentirita.
I love it. Anyway, well, if we were on Family Ties, I don't know if you ever watched that show, Eric.
Or Growing Pains.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Growing Pains. I even watched I Identify More With. They would serve succotash.
Yes. Or
they
ratatouille.
Would serve, what else? Exactly.
Ratatouille.
Right? So these were the things we came up with, and we were we're going to bring this into today, making it delicious and not I don't know, people complained about all these kinds of foods, I think, on television that I recall. They were never looked for foods.
Yeah, I wanted to eat them.
You did.
I wanted to try it.
I don't know. I feel maybe I was they probably suck because everybody complains about lima beans and all this stuff.
Well, I did have lima beans once as a kid.
One time.
I did.
They were always in the mixed vegetables.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't hate them. I didn't hate them.
Me neither.
But the thing is, when my mother made mixed vegetables, it just came out of the can. Yeah, it was just heated up.
So what did we do to fix that, Kiki?
We did good. We did really freaking good. We're going to talk about ratatouille. And I think what's great about this recipe, Madi, is that there are so many things you can do with it than just eat it. And I think what's fantastic about this recipe is for our vegetarian and vegan friends out there, this could actually be a full meal, how heavy and great it was. So we took a beautiful eggplant or an aubergine. And I know I got fancy for you. So we took an eggplant and we took some squash and zucchini and we took tomatoes.
Yes.
And we cut them up. So the first thing we did, of course, is we had to let the eggplant kind of sit in salt for a little while.
Yeah.
And that brings out the, bitterness of the eggplant.
And excess water.
Yep, exactly. And then you pat it dry. Do not wash it. That was my mistake. Pat it dry. And we just cut everything down the line. And it just came out everything was little circles. And we actually went to Trader Joe's, you and I, and had a great time. Nice. And we found this tomato pesto sauce.
It's red pepper pesto.
It was red pepper pesto. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It was so freaking delicious.
Oh my God.
And it was just so good. And we took that tomato pesto and we just layered the bottom of the dish with this. Then we went ahead and we took the vegetables and lined them up like little soldiers. You just do whatever order you want it in. I just did, eggplant, squash, tomato, zucchini, eggplant, squash, tomato, zucchini. Just line it up. Mm-hmm. Once it was done lined up, we took a bowl and we put some of that pesto in the bowl, some extra virgin olive oil. We took salt, pepper, basil. I think we put thyme in there also.
I think we may have because we had it on hand. Why wouldn't we?
Right. And so we put it in there, mixed it all together and poured it over all the vegetables. And then we let the ratatouille bake. I think it baked at 400 for about an hour, close to an hour.
Was it a while? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a while. The ratatouille baked 45 minutes an hour, baked for a while because all the vegetables got like really nice and soft.
Man,
And I just want to say, if you're allergic to nuts, so remember Ryan is allergic to nuts, so he actually couldn't eat this. But if you are allergic to nuts, you honestly can just take like a tomato, not tomato concentrate, not tomato sauce. Tomato paste.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what's wrong with me?
You've been spring cleaning, baby.
I know. Weekend brain. That's what's happening.
You know what it's like to be me now. Like you're like a housewife over there.
Oh my God, it's horrible. I'd rather go to work. So it's God. Many props to the house people because there's housewives and house husbands. So anyway, so if you are allergic to nuts, go ahead and just use a tomato paste inside that olive oil mixture instead of the red pepper pesto. But that pesto is really good. Anyways, it baked. It came out. It was, honest to God, the best vegetable medley I put in my frickin' mouth. It was so good. It was so good. Honestly, can be the main course. I mean, you can spoon this over rice. You can take it out and you could make it with pasta. And Madi, you came up with a great idea of you could put it between bread and you can make a vegetable panini out of this.
Delicious.
There is so much
vegetables, flavorful. The texture of the eggplant was my favorite because it was a little bit soft. You know, eggplant gets soft when you bake it. But it was a little bit soft, but still had like some tooth to it. And the flavors of the fresh herbs and that pesto, it has cashews in it, but if you're not allergic, please buy this pesto. It infiltrated like every layer of that vegetable. And there was just a little bit of sauce created on the bottom from the oils of the vegetables that seriously, you could spoon this over pasta and it is a complete meal. You don't need to do anything but just cook pasta. It was intoxicatingly good, Eric.
Cook rice with it. You know what? I'm thinking about it right now. I would almost maybe sprinkle, like the last 20 minutes of cooking, sprinkle like some goat cheese over it.
Oh, or Parmesan.
Something like that, or Parmesan over it. It was really amazing how this just came out like an actual meal. It was hearty. Like it was legitimately, and I am absolutely an omnivore. I like protein in all of my meals.
Me too.
But this, when people say, oh, you're not going to miss the steak. No, you are. But this, honestly, if you walk into it knowing you just want a vegetarian meal, this is fantastic. I would absolutely make it again.
I am craving it also, and I'm going to make it. I was just telling you that because when we were there and where I was tasting, I wasn't feeling great. So my palate, I don't think was 100%. But now I really just want to try it, and I want to put it in bread and put some very thick mozzarella and make it all weepy and delicious, like a vegetarian roasted vegetable sandwich.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Heaven.
That would be fantastic. I'm telling you, just chop it up a little bit and put it over rice, and you have a full meal.
That would be so
very
good.
Simple. Yeah. Just over white rice. It would be fantastic.
I'm hungry. I want that now.
Both our Hispanic side totally came out with that one. We're like, put it over rice.
Rico.
So it was so fantastic. I really, really hope everybody. Right. And the thing is, Madi, the recipe, the vegetables and the ingredients, it was so simple. It's not a difficult thing. And it did get better the next day.
Did it?
It was, yes, because all the ingredients just keep blending together. This is something that you can absolutely make and eat off of it the next day. This is something that I don't necessarily know if I would freeze it, but I think
too much water.
That's what I was thinking. There's just too much water. But it is something that you could put together in 20 minutes. And just let it bake. While you get home, just let it bake and get yourself comfortable, take your shower. And when you're ready to sit down and eat, it's ready for you.
And I want to say this, I've had ratatouille before. I've made it before unsuccessfully, watery mess. And the biggest marker, the difference in this recipe and in what I've made in the past is that it is not watery at all. Even with zucchini and squash, I don't like these vegetables because they just become a limp noodle mess and I don't appreciate them very much. But in this dish, the way that we cooked it, since the wet ingredients were kind of solid, it was more of a thick sauce. It really allowed the juices from the vegetables to mix in with that and create a sauce that was not watery, which is, I think, the biggest difference in what I've had before and this.
Absolutely. I think I've had ratatouille maybe once or twice before. It didn't taste anything
like this.
But I think also, you know, you and I always talk about, and just like, you can listen to everybody who talks about food. And I think it just comes down to the seasoning of it. Yeah. And just making sure you're seasoning at every level.
Yes.
That you can. And this was fantastic.
I can't talk about it enough, honestly. It is so flipping good. But we have also brought back a retro dish, another one, succotash. And I never really had succotash growing up, but it does seem kind of exciting to me because who doesn't like corn as a kid, you know?
Right.
Like corn and whatever else is in there. Honestly, I have no clue because I always remember it being heavy on the corn.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? I never saw a lot of colors in there, but when you look online for a succotash recipe, which we did so we can develop our own, they're very colorful now. I think people are trying to make succotash a thing. So this is what we did. Or we had some minor differences. We made it separately, but I went ahead and I started one strip of bacon. I cut it up into little bitties and I fried it and made it nice and crunchy. And then I set that aside. I took the bacon grease and I left it in the pan. I added a little bit of olive oil and then I went ahead and put the corn in there. And then I added a cup of corn, a half a cup of not lima beans, but edamame,
which was great.
Are better.
Protein.
Texturally, they're just not as fibrous as a lima bean.
I think the texture was great.
Right?
Because lima bean can get kind of mushy. And I don't hate lima beans. I don't hate them. I don't like run towards them.
Right. I'm not excited about them.
Right. I'm not like, oh my God, a pot of lima beans. Thank you. So I think this just gave it a really good texture.
Yes.
And I loved it. And so just to let you know, Madi, I was just looking up something really quick. And ratatouille was most popular in the US around the 1980s.
Really? See, like when we were watching TV.
Yeah. Exactly. And then succotash was actually most popular during the Great Depression.
Interesting.
So those are your two things that I Googled right now.
Well, I thank you for doing that because I appreciate this knowledge and it makes me think about why these dishes might be popular. And I think like the succotash faux show is because it could be canned stuff, right?
Last. Because
when you look at the recipes, they're very simple, right? Some people, are trying to judge it up like we are, right? We're definitely trying to judge our life. But the basic stuff is just the lima beans, the corn, and salt and pepper. Yep. Boom. That's it. So it makes sense that it came around that time.
Corn and lima beans, it's filling.
Right. Exactly.
So you can feed a lot of people off of a small amount.
Man, thank you for bringing my knowledge. I love that.
Listen.
It feels so good.
Not just the talent here. I'm not just good looking.
Brains too, baby.
But there are brains. The iPhone can get to Google. How did you season your succotash?
Well, I talk a bunch of shit. You can go Google. This is a synopsis of our relationship.
That is correct. I mean,
that's why it works, Keeter. I can talk a lot of shit, so it's fine with me.
We both can all day.
Anyway, so this is what I did, guys. So I did a 2-to-1 ratio to corn to the edamame, frozen from Trader Joe's or wherever you like to get it. Eric used the roasted corn, which I think is a far superior choice. I just didn't want to spend the $3.50. I don't know why I got cheap on the corn. I don't know why I got cheap on the corn either, because I won't go back to regular corn. Trader Joe's. Isn't that corn delicious?
It's very good. Actually, I would just eat it by itself. I have some corn left, because I didn't use the whole thing.
Yes.
And I would totally just eat it by itself.
Mexican street corn dip.
Mexican street. We know your obsession.
Oh, and it's like
all food FAQers. Know your obsession with this.
Anyway, so I went in and I put in the edamame, the corn, which I told you for like the 15th freaking time. But you know what I did too? I got like about a quarter of an onion and a little piece of pepper and I zhuzhed it up in my chopper because I have to hide the peppers and the onions around here because people think they don't like them, but they don't know they eat them anyway. And then,
I really love them.
Yes. So I sauteed that stuff first and then I put in the vegetables. Okay. I browned the onion and the pepper a little bit. Then I put in the frozen vegetables, let it all ruminate in there. I sliced up or chopped up small little dicey cubes of aroma tomato 1, and then I salt and peppered it. And then I added, of course, smoked paprika because I think corn and smoked paprika are best friends. And what else did I add? Oh, I added a little sage.
That's nice.
Yeah, I cooked it up and then I put a pat of butter at the end to gloss it over and make it cute. Plated it and then I put my little bacon bits on top. It was freaking good.
It was good. And I think definitely when I made it, I didn't do the seasonings you did, but the cooking it in the bacon fat just elevates it like
absolute
1,000 times. I mean, I think anytime you can use bacon fat.
Use the bacon fat.
Yeah. I mean, you're eating a vegetable, right? So it's okay to have the bacon fat, right?
It could be enveloped in pig fat.
I mean, is that how it balances out?
That's what balance is, right, guys? Pig fat covered corn. That's
remember back like in the early 90s when they would have like really weird ideas, like if you drink a Diet Coke while you ate your food, it balances it out.
Yes.
Or if you ate while you were standing.
They hoped it would work.
Right. It wouldn't like sit in your stomach. So that's where I'm getting this from. If you're eating a vegetable, if you roll around in bacon fat, I assume
it's going to be okay.
It makes everything okay.
It's heart healthy.
It's healthy now. So I did the same thing, and I cooked the bacon, and then I put in the bacon, I cooked the corn edamame. I used equal parts.
Okay, good.
I just wanted to.
Yeah.
And so I just used equal parts. I did salt, pepper, and a little bit of cayenne. Like we talked about, I'm kind of in a spicy mood. And so I did that, and that's all I did. And it was really good.
Yeah.
But I think it's because I also used the corn, the
smoky
corn. And I think that gave a lot of flavor to it. I didn't have to add much more to it.
Yeah, that smoky corn has its own flavor profile that you don't have to mess with.
It's really good.
This was good.
This stuff was really good. Now, the succotash, I don't know if I can see it as a main dish, but I'll be honest with you. I can see it as your main dish if it's like, okay, so for me, dinner is my biggest meal of the day. Mm-hmm. But I can see it as something you can take to lunch with you.
Yeah.
And be totally satisfied with it. I think it's just a really tasty way to eat corn.
I agree. And it's definitely not a meal. I would never say that this is a meal. I would definitely serve it with like a starch, maybe rice, because it has its own little sauce. At least mine does. Tomatoes in it. So it has its own little sauce. So like when you pair it with rice, it'll probably meld on your plate where they kind of touch, and the rice gets a little bit of the flavor from the succotash. And then together they're like a little, I don't know if you do that. I love that.
It has a little crispiness of the bacon on it too, which was my favorite.
Oh, which is the best part. My kids were fighting over the bacon. Kids did not give 5 fucks about the succotash. They were not.
No, of course. I would not give 5 fucks about succotash either. Well, no, as a kid, I wanted to try it, but I was a weird kid. I wanted to try what?
Pickled herring was your favorite snack, so let's
listen. Not even... You can out me all you want about pickled herring. I will never deny my love.
I find it very endearing. I'm not trying to out you. I'm celebrating you.
That even as a child, I love pickled herring.
I could see little Eric in his soccer ball uniform, which is how I imagine you from that picture that your mom always had in the living room. You were little, holding your little soccer ball, so cute and like glimmering with life. And I see that kid eating pickled herring, and that shit's amazing.
He did.
Feels good in my heart.
Pickled herring, cracker, but they were like the little, Cuban crackers are big, but then you had like the little Cuban crackers, the little circular ones. Yeah. So 4 pieces of pickled herring, 4 Cuban crackers, and Diet Coke.
I mean,
that was my after school snack.
What is not to love about that, dude?
So, but I could see the succotash going really good. I would make it with like a nice piece of tilapia. I love tilapia. People hate it.
Yeah. I don't like it.
What do you hate about it?
Like, I feel like it's garbage can fish.
What do you mean garbage can fish? What the hell?
Like, in my head, they're growing it in like a dirty cesspool, and like they're all like touching and almost becoming locusts, and they're dirty, eating their own feces. And I don't know what it is about tilapia. I feel like it's not a real fish. It's like garbage can fish.
Where the fuck do you buy your fish? That you have images of fish in garbage cans.
I don't know.
You say locusts, like
a little bit.
Like, that even makes sense. My God.
I know. So I don't like it. I won't even eat it, honestly.
What about catfish? Then you have a problem with that?
I don't have any weird thoughts about catfish. I'll eat it.
That's a bottom dweller. So you don't have the issue with the bottom dweller.
I can't explain the stupidity. It's just there. It lives in me. I'm not going to excuse it. I'm just sharing it. That's all I'm doing.
Your bigotry against tilapia.
Oh my God. Wow.
You're not the only one I've met about it. You're not the only one I've met with that.
It's like, it's so widely available that I feel like it's probably garbage.
A lot of fish is widely available because it's 2023 in America, Mariela. So
and cheap. By widely available, I mean it's fucking cheap.
It is cheap. Well, I don't know. I've always bought it kind of frozen too, so it's always definitely been cheap on my list. But you know what? Fuck you. The tilapia is delicious. Okay, I'm gonna go with the fact that I make really good tilapia, and if you make it with mojo, it's delicious. You'll never have any. So
you make it with liquid mojo?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's a rub now, FYI. You're looking at me funny.
I did not know there was a rub.
Yes, girl.
I'm so far removed from Miami that I have no idea that there was a rub.
Yeah, there's a rub now, which does not taste like mojo at all, FYI, but it exists.
Oh, it doesn't taste like mojo?
It tastes like too lemony.
That's like this one time when I was living in Jersey, I was at Aldi, and this is like smack in the middle of the pandemic. Like I had nothing to do on my day off but like walk around Jersey and find anything open. So I went to Aldi, and they had these like, they had these potato chips.
Yeah.
But they were like, when you use quotation, like Cuban flavor. They were supposed to be lechon flavored. This was lechon flavored potato chips.
Yeah.
I think it was lechon flavored. And for everybody, that's basically a pig.
Yeah.
And so that we cook usually during the holidays.
Yeah.
And so I was assuming it's supposed to taste like mojo. And it was just very lemony or lime. That's all it was.
Just lemon
like
chips.
A big lime chip. I was like, this is fucking waste of my
marketing worked on you, buddy.
$4.29 that I'll never get back.
Well, I don't know what it would taste like, but you know what might be good tasting like that? Chicharrones. What are they called in English? Pork rinds. Like mojo pork rinds might be delicious.
Mojo pork rinds would be really good.
So
mojo pork rinds, that sounds really good. Chicharrones are okay. But there's like a difference in chicharrones and pork rinds, and we can get into that
one day
at some point.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
Big difference.
There's a hierarchy.
Oh yeah.
I gotta bring you fresh chicharron one day.
There's a place not too far from here in Alexandria.
Yeah.
And it's called Best Way.
Uh-huh.
I think they used to have chicharrones, and I gotta check because they're only making certain days a week. They make them outside.
Oh yeah.
Big fryers.
Yum.
We should go get some near here.
You should.
And they have tamales also.
I love tamales.
We got chicharrones and tamales, and that sounds like a freaking delicious.
So, yeah. So I think that these are definitely Nacho Mama side dishes, and that your family will enjoy them. I mean, my kids were a little bit resistant to the succotash, but they tried it, right? And I always do that with them and make sure they try something. And then I'll even have my my daughter try it twice to make sure that she doesn't like it. And I think eventually this is something they will grow into because it's not that complicated. And it tastes good and it's fast for you to make. And for me, this is like if you buy a rotisserie chicken.
Done. You got a meal.
You're happy. You're going to be happy. You're going to be happy and you're going to have everything you need in life.
This is good.
And the ratatouille, I think, is just a special vegetable, but also something you could make on the weekend. And just,
I would make this ratatouille. You said it, and I would totally make it as a side dish on Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
I would, hands down.
Absolutely.
Make this as a vegetable side dish. Easter's a good, yeah, that's true. Easter, Thanksgiving. It can absolutely be a side dish on any of the holidays.
Yeah. So we love kind of making recipes and retooling them and ignoring the original recipe. And this is like the epitome of that.
It's good.
I do some research and then I throw it all to the wind and I cook however the fuck I want. And generally it comes out damn delicious.
It does.
So we hope that you're enjoying our spin on old school recipes. And don't forget to find us on your podcast host and leave us a review. Send us a message, an email, all the things. We're starting to post on the Instagram. Woo! I put up 2 photos of us. And if you're an FAQer, you're going to know exactly what they're about. And I'm so excited to share our faces with you and talk with you. So thank you so much for listening to us today. And we will definitely catch you next time.
Bye-bye.